Alright, Mythbusters, let's jump right into it. Today, we're debunking 10 things you probably believed were true. Number 10. The don't crack your knuckles scam. Every parent thinks cracking knuckles turns kids into future arthritis patients. But that idea is completely wrong. Like embarrassingly wrong. Scientists tested this extensively. They even had one dedicated doctor crack the knuckles on his left hand for 60 years, while leaving his right hand alone. The result was absolutely nothing. No difference in arthritis between his hands whatsoever. Can you believe this? But when parents hear that popping sound, they suddenly start imagining their kids' joints deteriorating. They watch their children like hawks, waiting for any sign of joint problems. Kid complains about sore fingers? Must be the knuckle cracking. Kid can't open a jar. Blame those popping sounds. This whole panic started back in the early 1900s, when some doctor claimed joint cracking caused damage. Parents jumped on that idea immediately. I guess it was an easy scare tactic, right? A kid sitting in math class popping their knuckles probably has more to do with being bored. They're fidgeting, stressed about that upcoming test. Maybe just discovering they can make cool sounds. Those kids would be just as likely to tap their pencils if you ban knuckle cracking entirely. So much for that genius advice, huh? Number 9. You don't need exactly 8 glasses of water daily. You've probably heard humans must drink 8 glasses of water every day, or they'll shrivel up like raisins. Seriously? That's about as accurate as saying fish need to drink 8 glasses of ocean water. This myth is so popular that people walk around with gallon jugs, like they're crossing the desert, constantly chugging water because some health guru said so. You know who you are. Your body is already a water management genius, operating at full capacity all the time. Scientists can track your hydration levels in real time, and they see your kidneys adjusting water retention constantly. Even when you're sleeping, your body is working. It's regulating fluid balance, managing electrolytes, and keeping everything perfectly calibrated. Your kidneys only make up less than 1% of your body weight, but these overachievers process about 50 gallons of fluid daily. That's like having a tiny water treatment plant that handles all your hydration automatically. If you really needed exactly 8 glasses, evolution would have given us some kind of internal water meter. Nature doesn't keep complicated requirements around without good reason. The proof is in what happens when you actually listen to your body. You drink when thirsty, you don't when you're not. This 8-glass myth likely came from a 1945 nutrition recommendation. It said adults need about 2.5 liters of fluid daily. But everyone conveniently ignored the part that said, including water from food. Then some wellness influencer probably misinterpreted that to mean pure water only. Makes you wonder what else they got wrong, doesn't it? Number 8. MSG won't give you headaches or kill you. You've probably heard that monosodium glutamate is some kind of chemical weapon. That's not true. When someone eats Chinese food and claims they feel weird, they're experiencing the placebo effect. Not MSG poisoning. MSG is just salt with an amino acid attached. It's literally the same compound that makes tomatoes, cheese, and mushrooms taste incredible. But then anti-Asian sentiment kicks in, and suddenly people are convinced Chinese restaurants are poisoning them. The MSG panic started in 1968, when one guy wrote a letter to a medical journal, claiming he felt strange after eating Chinese food. That's it. One random letter from one person sparked decades of paranoia and discrimination. Scientists have tested this extensively. They've given people MSG pills, MSG in food, fake MSG, placebo pills, and every combination imaginable. The result? Absolutely nothing. People who claim they are sensitive to MSG can't even identify when they are actually eating it in blind studies. Your brain is constantly producing glutamate naturally, about 40 times more than you'd get from a typical restaurant meal. If MSG really made you sick, you'd be in constant agony from your own biology. Those headaches people blame on Chinese food, probably from eating too much sodium, drinking alcohol, or stress, or just having a long day. But sure, let's blame the seasoning that's been used safely in Asia for over a century, while ignoring the 2 beers you had with dinner. The irony is delicious, isn't it? Number 7. Lightning absolutely will strike the same place twice, and 3 times, and 4 times. This saying is so wrong, it's actually dangerous advice that could get people killed. The Empire State Building gets zapped about 25 times every year. It's basically a giant lightning magnet, sitting in the middle of Manhattan. There was this incredibly unlucky park ranger named Roy Sullivan, who got struck by lightning 7 different times throughout his career. 7. They called him the human lightning rod, and somehow this tough guy survived every single strike. After the 4th strike, his co-workers literally started avoiding him during storms, because they thought he was cursed or something. Lightning is attracted to the tallest objects in any area. And if you're consistently the tallest thing around, you're basically painting a target on yourself every time there's a storm. Golf courses see repeat lightning strikes on the same trees. Baseball fields get hit in the same spots. Mountain peaks get zapped constantly. Nature doesn't keep a scorecard. Lightning can strike up to 10 miles away from the actual storm center. These bolts from the blue can come out of what looks like a perfectly clear sky. You could be having a picnic thinking you're completely safe, because the storm looks far away, and suddenly Zeus decides to ruin your entire day. If you can hear thunder, you're close enough to get struck, period. This myth likely came from people wanting to feel safer. Like, well, that tree already got hit, so we're safe here now. Wrong. The saying should be lightning loves to strike the same place twice, because it worked so well the first time. Number 6. Medieval people absolutely knew the earth was round. This whole Columbus proved the world wasn't flat story is complete historical fiction that somehow became accepted fact. Ancient Greeks figured out the earth was spherical and calculated its circumference pretty accurately around 240 BC. Medieval scholars, church leaders, educated people, navigators, they all knew the world was round. The idea that everyone thought it was flat until Columbus showed up is just bad history. That got repeated so many times, it became common knowledge. So why do we all believe this historical nonsense? Blame it on Washington Irving, who wrote a completely fictional biography of Columbus in 1828. He basically invented the flat earth controversy to make Columbus seem more heroic and dramatic. It's like if someone today wrote a book claiming Steve Jobs invented the internet. If enough people repeated it, future generations might believe it actually happened. Think about that for a second. The real controversy during Columbus's time wasn't about the Earth's shape, it was about its size. Most scholars thought the Earth was much bigger than Columbus claimed, which meant his proposed journey to Asia would be impossible. The experts were actually right. Columbus had completely miscalculated the distance and would have died in the middle of the Pacific Ocean if he hadn't gotten incredibly lucky and bumped into the Americas instead. But hey, Columbus miscalculated distance and accidentally found a continent while trying to prove everyone wrong about geography. Doesn't sound nearly as romantic. As brave explorer proved the world was round against ignorant flat earthers. The truth is that Columbus was wrong about almost everything, but he got lucky and stumbled into one of the most important discoveries in human history. Sometimes being wrong works out better than being right. Number 5. Shaving absolutely does not make your hair grow back thicker, darker, or faster. This myth has caused more unnecessary suffering than pineapple on pizza debates. When you shave, you're basically giving each hair a military crew cut. You're slicing it straight across with a razor, creating a blunt edge. When it grows back, that blunt edge feels rougher and appears thicker than the naturally tapered end. It's like the difference between touching a tree trunk that's been cut with a chainsaw versus touching a thin branch. The chopped part feels way rougher and thicker, even though it's the exact same tree. Scientists have been studying this for decades because, let's face it, if shaving actually made hair grow thicker, we would have solved male pattern baldness by now. Every bald guy on the planet would be shaving their head daily, and we'd have cured baldness with a $3 disposable razor from the corner store. Seriously, folks. But nope, Jeff Bezos is still bald despite being able to afford the most expensive, high-tech razors money can buy. Your hair's thickness, color, and growth rate are locked in by your genetics from birth. That razor isn't reprogramming your DNA or sending signals to your hair follicles. It's just giving your hair a different shape at the tip. The myth persists because the stubble feels incredibly convincing when it grows back. It's the same exact hair you've always had, just with a blunt end that feels different under your fingers. The visual illusion is strong too. Blunt-cut hair appears darker because light reflects off it differently. So go ahead, shave whatever you want, whenever you want. You're not turning into a werewolf or creating some kind of hair monster. Number 4. You can swim immediately after eating without dying. Your mom's sacred wait 30 minutes after eating rule is another safety myth. That sounds totally reasonable, but has absolutely zero evidence behind it. Not one single piece of scientific proof exists. The theory was that after eating, blood rushes to your stomach for digestion. leaving your arms and legs without enough blood flow, causing painful cramps and inevitable drowning. But here's the thing, the human body isn't that poorly designed. Your circulatory system didn't evolve for 200,000 years, just to fail at the basic task of handling food and movement simultaneously. There's literally not a single documented case anywhere in medical history of someone drowning specifically because they ate before swimming. Not one. The American Red Cross has officially debunked this myth after decades of research. Your body can absolutely handle both digestion and swimming at the same time. It's not like your biological systems have to choose between the two. Competitive swimmers actually eat during their training sessions. Olympic athletes don't sit around twiddling their thumbs for half an hour after breakfast before getting in the pool. You might get a minor cramp if you swim intensely immediately after eating a massive Thanksgiving dinner. But that's the same uncomfortable feeling as running right after a big meal, unpleasant, but definitely not deadly. The worst realistic scenario is feeling a little sluggish or getting a side stitch. That makes you want to float on your back for a few minutes. But drowning, that's pure parental paranoia that somehow became universally accepted wisdom. This myth probably persists because it gave parents a built-in break time at the pool or beach. Number 3. Goldfish have incredibly good memories, way better than most people think. The 3-second memory thing is complete garbage, and honestly, it's pretty insulting to goldfish intelligence. These little aquatic swimmers are actually remarkably smart creatures. Scientists have put goldfish through complex maze experiments. And not only do they solve the puzzles successfully, but they remember the exact solution months later. Months. That's better than most humans' ability to remember where they left their car keys. Can you even believe that? Goldfish can recognize individual human faces. Imagine being a goldfish swimming around in your bowl thinking, "Oh great, here comes Dave with the fish flakes again, and he's wearing that ugly shirt." They can learn sophisticated tricks, distinguish between different pieces of music, and some have even been trained to play underwater soccer. All of this with brains smaller than a green pea. The 3-second memory myth probably exists because people want to feel better about keeping intelligent fish in tiny, boring bowls. Oh, it's perfectly fine. They won't remember being bored and understimulated. But goldfish can actually experience depression and stress when kept in inadequate environments, just like other animals. Scientists are now studying goldfish brains to better understand human memory formation and loss. Turns out these dumb fish might hold keys to understanding how our own brains store and retrieve information. Goldfish can be trained to respond to different colored lights, navigate complex obstacle courses, and even do simple math problems involving small numbers. So next time you see a goldfish, show some respect. They are basically tiny aquatic geniuses who remember everything you do around their tank. Number 2. Swallowed gum doesn't stick around in your stomach for 7 years. This myth has probably prevented more accidental gum swallowing than any parent lecture in history. When you swallow gum, it travels through your entire digestive system just like everything else you eat. The only real difference is that your stomach acid can't completely break down the gum base. So it passes through mostly intact. Think of it exactly like corn kernels or sunflower seed shells. Most swallowed gum exits your system within 1 to 2 days, just like any other indigestible material. It absolutely does not stick to your stomach walls like some kind of internal chewing gum sculpture growing larger over time. Your stomach is constantly churning and moving, pushing everything along through your intestines. It's not a static storage unit where random objects just sit around collecting dust for years. The 7-year timeline is completely fabricated, probably invented by parents, who were tired of finding chewed gum stuck under every piece of furniture in their house. Here's the really interesting part. Humans have been chewing various substances for literally thousands of years. Ancient Greeks chewed tree resin, Mayans chewed chicle from sapodilla trees, and Native Americans chewed spruce sap. None of these ancient civilizations died out from 7-year gum buildups in their stomachs. The only place where gum actually does stick around for years is on sidewalks and under desks, where it becomes an eternal monument to people's poor disposal habits. But inside your digestive system, it's just another piece of indigestible material passing through, like everything else your body can't process. Unless you're literally eating entire packs of gum every single day, your digestive system handles the occasional piece just fine. So go ahead, swallow that gum, if you dare. Number 1. Carrots don't actually improve your eyesight beyond normal levels. This is hands down the most successful food propaganda campaign in human history. The whole carrots help you see in the dark myth was literally World War II British military propaganda. designed to hide their top-secret radar technology from German intelligence. They publicly claimed their Royal Air Force pilots could spot enemy aircraft at night because they ate massive quantities of carrots, when really they were using revolutionary radar systems that gave them a huge tactical advantage. The British were so incredibly good at this deception that they convinced their own population, and somehow the lie spread worldwide and never stopped spreading. It's still going strong 80 years later. Carrots do contain beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, and severe vitamin A deficiency can cause night blindness in malnourished people. But eating extra carrots beyond your normal nutritional needs won't give you superhuman eagle vision. It's like drinking extra water when you're already perfectly hydrated. You're not going to suddenly see through walls, I promise. If carrots really provided enhanced eyesight, wouldn't every sniper, fighter pilot, surgeon, and professional athlete be constantly munching on them? Wouldn't eyeglasses companies be going out of business? The fact that optometrists still have thriving practices should tell you everything you need to know about the carrot vision myth. But honestly, even though it was based on military deception, at least it got generations of kids to eat their vegetables without complaining. Sometimes a well-intentioned lie serves a genuinely good purpose, even if the original motivation was tricking Nazi Germany. The carrots won't hurt you, and they do provide legitimate nutrition. Just don't expect to develop X-ray vision or night vision goggles for eyes. Your genetics determine your visual acuity way more than your vegetable intake ever will. That's all for today. I'll be dropping more myth-busting content like this in the future. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep learning about all the ridiculous stuff your parents, teachers, and random internet articles got completely wrong. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the most absurd fact someone tried to convince you was absolutely true? Let's roast some more myths together and see how deep this rabbit hole of misinformation really goes.